home ownership. That's the biggest dream for a number of Jamaicans. And the government is making this dream a reality by providing affordable housing and financing to real estate developers. Hi, I'm Oroya Eubanks and you're watching Jamaica Magazine. On today's show, we unlock the keys to home ownership with General Manager of the Jamaica Mortgage Bank, Courtney Winter. He's this week's guest on Issues. Plus, we venture into the constituency of Southwest St. Andrew, where a project is being developed as a model for inner city living. Please stay with us as the information continues to flow.
The Ebola virus is transmitted through direct contact with an infected person's blood or other bodily fluids such as saliva, urine, stool, and semen. The virus can also be spread if broken skin comes in contact with contaminated items like clothing, bed linen, and needles used by an Ebola patient. Symptoms of Ebola include sudden onset of fever, intense weakness, muscle pain, headache, and sore throat. This may be followed by vomiting, diarrhea and rash, impaired kidney and liver functions, and in some cases both internal and external bleeding leading to death. Ebola cannot be spread by someone who does not have symptoms. The time between exposure and when a person begins to have symptoms is known as the incubation period. For Ebola, this is anywhere from 2 to 21 days. Infected patients should be handled by persons wearing proper personal protective equipment, then transferred to designated isolation centers. Protect yourself. Avoid travel to Ebola-affected countries. Avoid contact with infected persons. Don't touch the body of someone who has died from Ebola. Wash hands frequently and use an alcohol-based sanitizer. To know more, call the Health Ministry's Emergency Operations Center at 1-888-1-LOVE. That's 1-888-663-5683.
Gated communities are now a first choice for most homeowners. There is an entity secretly funding these family perfect schemes, the state-owned Jamaica Mortgage Bank. Next, Ian Boyne speaks with the bank's head, Courtney Winter. He breaks down the mission of the mortgage entity for ensuring that every family can get a key to their own home.
Thanks for joining us for another edition of Issues and Answers. Today we want to talk housing and such a basic requirement. We have with us the General Manager of the Jamaica Mortgage Bank, Mr. Courtney Winter. He'll be talking to us about some of the initiatives of the JMB, as well as the history, the very illustrious history of achievements of the Jamaica Mortgage Bank. We thank you for your company. Mr. Winter, good to have you on the show. Recently, you partnered with the National Commercial Bank for a major housing project for students at the university. Let's start by talking about that.
Yes, we did a syndication with the National Commercial Bank, NCB, to finance the first phase of a $4 billion housing project.
$4 billion?
Yes, over a 3-year period. With the UII as well as a company called K Limited. And the first phase is to provide about 584 housing units for students. The university anticipates in the next year or two to have significant increase in their student population, especially from overseas, in Africa specifically. And so the need for housing and the demand for housing, there was a gap there. And so we jumped on it because not only did we see the value in terms of the demand, but we saw that there would have been an economic value to Jamaica where that would assist in bringing in some needed foreign exchange to the university and by extension to the economy. In addition to that, we see where that will also add some economic development to the country. We can speak later about what we have analyzed and the results of that. But for example, for every $250 million that is invested in housing in Jamaica, we're seeing a 42% benefit to the government. But we can also talk about that later. So on many fronts, we think that there was tremendous value
Yes.
in taking on the financing, interim financing for this project. And our partner, NCB, also saw that value immediately. And so it wasn't very difficult for us to do it.
Was this the first of the kind of syndication that had been done by the Jamaica Mortgage Bank?
Yes, based on our 44 years of history, this has
this is
been
new.
the first of its kind. As you know, the landscape in terms of funding and access to funding has changed somewhat. And so we have to find a little more creative ways and also this project is significant in terms of its value. The first phase is about $1.3 billion. And so because the Jamaica Mortgage Bank has limits in terms of its prudential limits and how much we can lend, it made sense that we also did the syndication with an external party.
So this is one of a set of initiatives, new initiatives, that the bank is engaging in as a result of changing dynamics in the market.
Yes, post, I would say, NDX and with the influence of the IMF, the whole dynamics of access to funding has changed. As you probably know, we're a statutory body, government agency, and potential investors will see any debt that we issue as sovereign debt. And so prior to now, there would be government guarantees, which has pretty much gone away. There are government waivers. And so potential investors are now looking for collateral and other stuff. So the cost of going to market for funding has increased somewhat because of those dynamics and those changes. And so the Jamaica Mortgage Bank is now finding a very innovative way to still achieve the mandate, which is providing affordable housing. And the underlying word here is affordable housing to Jamaicans.
Yes. We're going to take a break now, but when we come back, we need to explore more the role of the mortgage bank. You said it is about affordable housing. Normally, we think of NHG when we think about affordable housing. So
Yes.
when we come back, we need to look at that. How does the Jamaica Mortgage Bank contribute to affordable housing? We are speaking to its general manager, Courtney Winter. We take a break, but we'll be right back.
Fiscal consolidation.
The centerpiece of the program has been the need to reduce our debt.
Business reform.
Make sure that we transform Jamaica to make it a place to do business easily.
New and existing businesses will benefit from streamlined regulations and processes.
And pursuing strategic investments while protecting the most vulnerable.
The path we're on is the right path.
The economy in Jamaica is turning.
The fact that the international community is once again lending to Jamaica says something about their confidence in our policies.
It is now time to actually stay the course, not to lose the benefits of the hard decisions that have been made.
The Jamaican government is committed to continuing the process of reform.
The government of Jamaica is on a mission, going for growth, staying the course and transforming the economy through its economic reform program.
The general manager of the Jamaica Mortgage Bank, Courtney Winter, is with us talking to us about some of the new initiatives of the bank as well as the achievements of this bank, which has made a significant contribution to the country over the last 44 years.
Yes.
Yeah. So this issue, Mr. Winter, of the role of the bank, you say it is to help affordable housing. How so?
Yes. Well, as you mentioned, we have a legacy of facilitating affordable housing in Jamaica for 44 years. As a matter of fact, in the early 80s, the Jamaica Mortgage Bank was responsible for about 40% of the housing starts in Jamaica.
Is that so?
Most people don't even realize that the Jamaica Mortgage Bank financed schemes such as Longville in Clarendon, Long Mountain in Kingston and St. Andrew, Coralville Gardens, Garvin Mead in St. Catherine. We have financed 50 to 60 projects of about a total of about 25 to 30,000 housing solutions, including houses and service lots in our history. And our mandate is really to provide affordable housing for Jamaicans. Now, I know with affordable housing, we automatically think about the NHT.
Yes.
We also think about
Housing
HAJ in terms of social housing.
Precisely, but
however,
not mortgage bank.
Exactly. However, there is a gap in terms of the profile or value of housing. So if you look at the value of a house between $8 million and let's say $15 million, there is a real gap because the National Housing Trust, most people will go to the National Housing Trust to fund housing within their contribution limit of about $8 to $9 million. HHA focuses primarily in social housing and other low-income housing. The Jamaica Mortgage Bank is relevant in the middle markets.
True, that's an important market.
And so what we try to do is to facilitate developers who are playing in that market. And as a matter of fact, what we have seen is that most developers prefer to play in the middle market because it's more economic feasible for those developers. Over the years, if you look at the economic and social survey that was published by the PIOJ in 2013, the increase in the housing starts and completion, although there are increases from 2009 to now, most of that increases have shifted from the NHT to more private developers. I know the NHT also funds some private developers, but a lot of that shift has now shifted to private development in terms of housing starts and housing completion. And so we start to talk about how access to funding to these private developers. A number of these private developers have to go to the providers of financing to be funded these developments.
And you provided more concessionary rates.
Exactly.
So that has an impact on the final price of the house.
Exactly.
So to show the connection to the ordinary people, ordinary and then middle class people, how they benefit.
Exactly. So one of the input costs to provide affordable housing is the financing.
Yes, a big part.
And so what we try to do is to facilitate that input cost as low as possible to have the developers provide those type of affordable housing that we're looking for.
And you have the mechanisms to ensure that those savings are passed on?
We do, because we work with our developers in terms of pricing. So for example, if a developer is interested in building houses for $35 million, that is really not our mandate. However, in recent times, there has been challenges, as we mentioned before. The costs of financing has increased somewhat. Now, the government facilitates this by offering what we call tax-free bonds. So we gain our financing by offering bonds, but the government facilitates us, the Jamaica Mortgage Bank, by approving what we call tax-free bonds. What that allows us to do is to go to the investors in our bonds, and we offer that at lower rates. Those lower rates help us to on-lend to developers at a cheaper rate than the market. And that is one way of facilitating lower and affordable housing. However, that, as we mentioned before, that has become somewhat of a challenge because the IMF has a number of stipulations which include waivers and tax-free instruments. And so, as we mentioned at the top of the program, we have to come up with more innovative ways of ensuring that the input costs to developers remain low. And one of those things that we do recently is a syndication. We're also looking at some other ways to do it, such as we're currently investigating how to do a real estate investment trust, which is known as REIT, or Real Estate Investment Fund, for those people who may be interested in investing in real estate. But our rate is going to be primarily focusing on investment in housing. There are other rates that will be focused on not only housing, but other commercial type of construction and real estate. We're also looking at, and this is somewhat of a bad word, but looking at RMBS, which is the residential mortgage-backed security.
How that works.
And pretty much you look at a pool of mortgages, package it as an underlying security for a loan. Now, I know why you smile.
Crisis here, you know.
No. Well, when we talk about the subprime crisis, when you look at it, the only country that really impacted was the United States, countries like Spain and Ireland. But if you look at Europe on a whole, especially, they will tell you that they have used it judiciously. And their default rate actually is about 1.01%. As a matter of fact, since 2008 to now, 68% of their security, of their bonds have been redeemable. And so the issue is not so much around the instrument itself. The issue has been around the credit risk. In the United States, we know that the standards of credit was relaxed and reduced, and that is what caused primarily the issue. So we're going to look at that. We're also going to look at what is called covered bonds. And Europe has used covered bonds significantly in providing financing for mortgages and financing for housing. And it's similar to the residential mortgage-backed security. However, the underlying security is more than just mortgages. It's other instruments that make up the mix. That's very high yield. It's a better quality type of instrument, and that's something we want to look at. We're also looking at whether or not we can work with the government to do things like what the Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac does in the United States. Because the truth is, most financial institutions have liquidity problems. And they're trying to use short-term financing to finance long-term instruments such as mortgages. But like Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, if you were to have the government to provide that liquidity, which is buying up mortgages to provide the market with that kind of liquidity, that could also be used to finance.
We need to talk more about the initiatives. You're obviously coming with a lot of ideas, a lot of fresh, new ideas from the Jamaica Mortgage Bank. Its general manager, who was appointed in only January of this year, is certainly a man brimming with ideas. So there's a new look JMB. Next week, I'm going to be back with more information. Until then, Ian Bourne wishing you a pleasant day.
Stop. Think before you burn. The dry season is on, so there's little to no rainfall, and wind speeds increase around this time too. What if the fire you light gets out of control? Where would you get the water to out the flame? Why not try bagging up waste and putting it outside for collection? If you absolutely must burn, construct a fire break by clearing an area around the site to be burnt. Use water to wet the perimeter of the brush being burnt. Burn in small piles and be sure to burn one pile at a time. If no water is available, ensure you have some dirt to douse the fire. Remember, take stock of yourself and think before you burn.
youngest recipient of one of these homes, it is quite a difficult task to fully articulate the significance of this achievement. This is an opportunity for me and my family to improve our life.
At the tender age of 22, Shanika Thompson is living the dream of most Jamaicans, home ownership. Thompson and 47 other residents of Majesty Gardens in St. Andrew have now joined a growing number of low-income earners getting keys to a place called home. The dream fulfilled was made possible by the newly remodeled inner-city housing project undertaken by the National Housing Trust. The houses were handed over during a recent ceremony, and plans are far advanced to deliver even more houses to communities along Spanish Town Road.
Getting a key to your home is not just a matter of gaining access to a certain space or to certain facilities. It is the key to a whole new life.
This is the new face of the inner city. 16 three-bedroom and 32 two-bedroom apartments, all enclosed in a gated community with all the perks attached.
When we hand over these units today, we will be handing over more than 4 walls. What we will be doing is opening doors to new opportunities. That will make Majesty Garden be truly majestic.
With some 1,200 families assisted along the Spanish Town Road corridor, there's a push to provide more houses to Jamaica's poor.
We are seeking to provide good, decent housing, and we are doing so as much as we can to make it affordable.
The goal is to empower citizens to be the best versions of themselves.
You too have a place in the society. You are valuable Jamaicans. You too deserve decent housing, and more importantly, you too have a part to play in the advancement and development of our country.
And when residents' lives improve, communities improve, as there are more effective governance structures, internal dispute resolution, and even greater civic pride seen in residents.
So nice, I got you.
My kids them go comfortable in this one. So when I tell them I feel good, understand? For the long work I put on over the years and contribute to Housing Trust, just get a key, a place called home.
I will no longer be afraid or embarrassed to invite a friend to visit because I'm terrified they might ask, can I use your restroom? Or simply do not want them to know where I live.
It's better to pay some mortgage than pay rent. But one of my greatest joy and moment is for the kids them. I happy to get at home, but for the benefit of the kids.
I am so happy, I'm so excited. Trust me, I couldn't ask for more. God is good.
So good, so good.
When I hear my name called, I'm so excited. And my kids them too excited and feel good about it. So I'm going to have them new home, them inside bathroom, everything nice.
I thank I thank my workplace because without a job, I wouldn't own a house.
Even as residents celebrated their achievements, there were gentle reminders along the way.
Take care of your space, and I'm gonna beg you to live in peace and harmony. Let love reign in Majesty Gardens.
The real project will start when you all move into your new homes and begin to make decisions about how to manage the complex so that it remains a beacon for all to see.
Look forward to keep the place as house is clean and nice, maintain it right and pay your bills and everything that's carpeted and keep the thing nice.
That work has already begun as the newly formed Citizens Association renamed Majesty Gardens Phase 1 the Portia Simpson Miller Meadows. With the foundation set, the 48-unit strata community is now on its way to being a source of inspiration for other underdeveloped corporate area communities.
It's my house and I live here. I want to tell you it's my house and I live here.
There is no vaccine for the chikungunya virus. If you've been infected, take paracetamol such as Panadol, Cetamol, and Tylenol to reduce pain and fever. Sleep under mosquito netting and get plenty of rest. Take showers or sponge baths in room temperature water to lower fever, especially in children, and drink lots of fluids to prevent dehydration. If your symptoms worsen, go and see a doctor. Do not take aspirin as this could cause bleeding, and never use rubbing alcohol. To learn more, call 1-888-1-LOVE. That's 1-888-663-5683.
Already there have been several cleanup exercises as government continues its work to destroy mosquito breeding sites and stop the spread of chikungunya. $196 million from the state coffers have been committed towards this venture. Minister of Health, Dr. Fenton Ferguson, has insisted that the allocation must be targeted and well spent. The cleanup program builds on the Health Ministry's mapping of mosquito breeding sites identified across the island.
It is not just getting out there and say you're on a drain cleaning program, because let me also emphasize that gullies, drains, and canals, although critical to other diseases, is not in the present instance the priority relative to the Aedes aegypti mosquito. But what we don't want after spending $500 million is that we don't get to the breeding sites, we are not able to do enough fogging, and therefore at the end of it we still have the breeding sites, and so you will not be able to contain the present outbreak relative to CHIKV.
The Prime Minister, Portia Simpson Miller, has also charged that activities under the program are to be free from political considerations, and that while participating in these cleanup activities, persons should not be wearing clothing with party political messages. Get involved in the cleanup campaign. Contact your local parish council and find out when the work begins in your area.
Passing by, though a wench is passing by, is not she. Is who? Is you. Be true. When I say me love me dear, you are dashing privateer. You are call him love and dear, is not him. Is who? Are you? Be true. True only to you. Oh, true only to you. No matter what I do it only to you. If you see me walk and kiss an enchanting little miss, Lord, enchanting little miss is not she. Is me. Is me.
Before we go, we leave you with these few words on achieving happiness. We can never obtain peace in the outer world until we make peace with ourselves. A thought from leader Dalai Lama encouraging us to seek inner peace, the key to happiness. The information continues to flow on our website, jis.gov.jm, or you can follow us on Twitter at JISnews. For more features, visit our YouTube channel at WatchJIS. I'm Arroyo Eubanks. Join us again tomorrow on this same station.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.